To continue the conversation, we're joined by House Republican Representative Andy Biggs of Arizona. Representative Biggs, thanks for joining me. You've been very active on Twitter in reaction to the Supreme Court leak and all that's ensued since. I would love if you could share more details about your tweet saying that pro-abortion radicals are breaking the law by picketing outside of the Supreme Court justices' homes.
Yeah, there's federal law under Title 18 that prohibits protesting in front of federal judges' homes. I mean, just kind of what you just said. And the idea behind that law is to prevent intimidation of judges who are considering weighty matters by mobs of angry people. You want an independent judiciary. The time to influence a judge is when you're filing briefs and your attorneys and representatives are making arguments, not going to their homes and intimidating them. And by the way, this goes beyond just protesting in front of their houses. They've received death threats. Their families have received threats, and they've actually had to move Justice Alito.
Right. And Democrats on Capitol Hill are clearly outraged, and that comes as no surprise. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says the draft opinion by Justice Alito, quote, slapped women in the face. She even said we need to be prayerful about finding ways to keep abortion legal. What are your thoughts on her remarks?
I find them to be highly offensive, to be praying to God to provide ways to abort innocent unborn babies in the womb. I mean, to me, that is the height of inhumanity, is to basically justify evil conduct by relying on God. And that's what they're doing here. These little innocents are basically in the care and nurture of the mother in the womb. And she's praying to God. And she says, we need to pray to God to invoke basically murderous appetite on these poor innocent children.
And what are your thoughts, Representative Biggs, on the breach of trust at the court with this leak? Do you think it's possible we find the person who leaked this draft? Can we really rely on the Department of Justice to do anything about all of this? What do you think?
Well, I never rely on the senior leaders of the DOJ, but Chief Justice Roberts has enlisted the Marshal's office to come in and to investigate. I hope we find out who it was. I've been sitting in a hearing, and the audacity is that Democrats have been sitting in this hearing saying, "Oh well, you know, it had to be a conservative because it would lock in these conservative votes." Those conservative votes are locked in already in the Alito draft, and that's why it's the draft. And so I don't believe it was a conservative person who leaked it, but whoever leaked it undermined the credibility and trust of the Supreme Court, and they need to be found out, and they should probably be fired and disciplined otherwise.
Appreciate your thoughts on all of this. Representative Andy Biggs of Arizona, thank you.
Thanks, Prudence.